Education, health and care plans vary in structure and content around the country, but one thing is key to all of them. They should have the child or young person and family central to the process, and person-centred thinking can help us do that. Now, there are some features that are common to all EHC plans. Some of these are, they will all have some form of executive summary. Now, quite often that's done using a person-centred thinking tool called a one-page profile. But whatever you use, a one-page profile or otherwise should have some form of description about what's important to the young person and what good support looks like. So the really key elements of what good support looks like. But most importantly, it should give a positive snapshot of the child or young person, not starting off with a disability or the problems or the issues involved. The other thing that all EHC plans will have some element of is involving the family in the process. Now, a useful person-centred thinking tool to help us do that is using a circle of support. So having some form of way of mapping the relationships that are important in a child or young person's life. They will also have some form of family history. Families tell us they are tired of telling us again and again what their story and their history is. So a tell it once approach is really useful. No surprise here, but a really big element of EHC plans are how the young person or the child are involved in the plan. And that is usually done by being able to describe what good support looks like for the child or the young person. And useful tools to help us do that are the good day, bad day tool. So what would it do to support a child or young person to have good days at school and at home? And what could we do to support the child to avoid having more bad days? And something else people find useful often is describing a perfect week. So what would a really good balanced week look like? Something else you'll find often is a communication chart, really useful for describing how a young person or a child communicates, but also really important for young people moving into adult life as they start to take control of their own decisions, a decision-making profile, a decision-making agreement, describing how the young person's involved in decisions in their life. And also, finally, another important element, person-centred thinking that should be involved in that element of an EHC plan is what's important to the child or young person in the future, so that the plan is aspirational, that it's focused on their hopes and aspirations for the future and gives the overall direction of the plan. Something else EHC plans will have some process of identifying what the priorities are to work on. Commonly this is done using the working not working tool. Very helpful for outlining different people's perspectives. So from the child's perspective, the family's perspective, school and from professionals' perspectives, what's working, so what do we need to do to make sure the things that are working carry on working, and what's not working, what do we need to change or what do we need to do differently to make the things that are not working work. And an added bonus to using working not working is it helps us to use the working together for change approach to commissioning to ensure that services that are commissioned in the future are the ones that are based on what's working, what's not working, and what's important to children and young people in the future, so that we're ready for that. Something else all plans will have is some process of making decisions, describing the decisions that are made and the actions that are going to be taken. Really important element of this is to have person-centred outcomes and being really clear about this. There's a lot of confusion often between what's a solution and what's a person-centred outcome. And outcomes should be based on a range of different things in terms of independent living, in terms of good health, in terms of employment, in terms of friends, relationships and being connected to the community. The other thing that will often help here is a donut. Helps outline what people are responsible for and how they're going to carry out their responsibilities. And also, all EHC plans will define what resources are available and what's going to be used, and helpful to this are tools such as mapping the child or young person's networks, and also a presence to contribution tool where they're present and where they can contribute in their community, and their gifts and talents. One thing is clear: if we just rely on statutory paid provision in an educational health and care plan, there's a huge amount of resources that are part of our communities that we won't make best use of. So in summary, there's a range of things that are common to all educational health and care plans, and there's a full range of person-centred thinking tools that can help us deliver really good quality, person-centred educational health and care plans. Thank you.